This is the exact process that I still go through every single time I design something, whether it's armour, whether it's adding to a piece of costume, whether it's a piece of tack for your horse or something for your dog. You'll be able to apply all of these processes, and it's something that anybody can do. It's just a case of practice. You know, I knew that I was no great artist with pencil and pen. I always had an interest in art, and you had to develop these ideas with a huge lack of resources out there. Now you've got absolutely everything. And this is one of the biggest questions that I get asked from people is, where do you get your inspiration? And I looked down and I suddenly, I looked at the way that this particular goose, its collar, its feathers laid. Now that would be a beautiful collar piece. You could cut it all up, make it feathered, give it that final effect. And this is the thing, inspiration can come from everywhere. So I'm going to go through this slideshow with you, looking at architecture, looking at nature, looking at things from history, jewellery. It's really everything around you. In this design, I see huge elements that have potential for being used later on. Take some of these slides and play with them, trace over them, see what elements you find inspire you, give you ideas to, spark off things that you'd like to have a little play with. Just looking at this center panel here, it's come up with ideas. Now that is incredibly rough. At the same time, I can tell you now, just by sharpening this up, whatever you've got going on in your head with ideas, play, experiment. This is what I've done. This is all part of the process that I always go through, absolutely every time. And start to take those shapes and having a play around with them. I use this often, to be honest with you, just as a starting point when I just want to get ideas out of my head. But the whole idea of this is, how can you then take a simple sketch like that? I took an overlay of the back of that chair, and I thought, yeah, that really does work. And then again, I took a tracing of part of the doorway, and believe it or not, 2-minute sketch later, and whilst that's far from perfect, that's a starting point. Take your own notes of the things that make sense, the things that really tick your boxes, because that's going to be one of the best ways. I promise you, these first stages are absolutely essential, and then maybe grab a pencil and paper right now and just see what comes.